And now let's shift our focus to what's happening in the United States. A lot happened there in the last 24 hours. It recently wrapped up the final hearing in the January 2021 storming of Capitol Hill. A hearing aimed at implicating none other than Donald Trump for inciting his supporters into causing violence. In the next 3 minutes, I'll deconstruct the biggest takeaways from this hearing and try and understand what troubles, if any, Trump could likely face. Starting with this video now. This unseen footage of US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi trying her best to take charge of a complicated situation as Trump supporters stormed the Capitol. It was played out during the hearing on Thursday. It shows Pelosi dialing government officials, asking them to help clear up the complex. Watch this first, and then we'll discuss its relevance.
Hi, Governor. This is Nancy. Governor, I don't know if you have been approached about the Virginia National Guard. Mr. Hoyer was speaking to Governor Hogan, but I still think you probably need the okay of the federal government in order to come into another jurisdiction. Oh my gosh, they're just breaking windows. They're doing all kinds of. It's really that they said somebody was shot. It was just horrendous, and all at the instigation of the President of the United States.
In another segment from the footage, Pelosi can be seen talking to then Vice President Mike Pence, briefing him about the situation inside the Capitol, requesting him to send help immediately. Watch this now.
Gotten a very bad report about the condition of the House floor with defecation and all that kind of thing as well. I don't think that that's hard to clean up, but I do think it is more from a security standpoint of making sure that everybody is out of the building, and how long will that take?
As the video was being played, the hearing room fell silent. Why wouldn't it? This footage showed some of the most powerful individuals in America scrambling to drum up support. And that too from people in agencies that weren't prepared for this chaos. What followed next was even more consequential. The House committee investigating the matter held a vote. A vote to subpoena Donald Trump for his role in these riots. Let me explain what a subpoena means. It is essentially a writ ordering a person to come to court, a summon, a legal summon. The committee unanimously voted in its favor. Watch this now.
Ms. Cheney?
Aye.
Ms. Cheney, aye. Ms. Lofgren?
Aye.
Ms. Lofgren, aye. Mr. Schiff?
Aye.
Mr. Schiff, aye. Mr. Aguilar?
Aye.
Mr. Aguilar, aye. Mrs. Murphy?
Aye.
Mrs. Murphy, aye. Mr. Chairman, on this vote, there are 9 ayes and 0 noes.
What this basically means is that Trump will have to testify in court and answer for his actions. So when will that be? For now, a date has not been decided, but the subpoena will surely trigger a prolonged court battle. Because Trump has publicly refused to testify before the court. He says he will only do so if it's live. So what happens if he refuses? Well, no one knows. Reports say there is no Supreme Court precedent which says whether the US Congress has the power to make a former president testify about his actions in office. So it all depends on how Trump takes it. Now let's talk about another important aspect to this drama unfolding in America. The timing of this entire episode is even more fascinating. It comes weeks before the midterm elections, which Republicans are favored to win. They're leading almost every opinion poll. And should they win these elections and take control of the House, they've promised to disband the same January 6th committee itself. Why? Because they feel the committee is biased, that it's working in favor of the Democrats to overturn their electoral prospects in the polls. Some also say that the committee is serving as a distraction for Biden's own diminishing global popularity. Remember, Biden is slowly losing favor among his own allies. That brings me to Saudi Arabia. It's a story we have been tracking on the show. Saudi Arabia's rift with Washington is only growing, especially after Biden promised to make Riyadh pay consequences for refusing to ramp up oil production. The kingdom too has issued a strongly worded statement. Allow me to quote, "Any attempts to distort the facts about the kingdom's position regarding the crisis in Ukraine are unfortunate and will not change its principal position. We reject any dictates, actions or efforts to distort our objectives to protect the global economy from oil market volatility." Now, this may be just the most stinging rebuke of Washington by the Saudis. To the best of our memories, we don't recall the Saudis hitting back at the Americans like this, in such strong words. So when critics say that the January 6 committee is being used as a face-saving tactic by the Democrats, there seems to be some merit in what they're saying. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.